Ikumananga ya mema, itumananga longa, ikumananga ya mema. Alongola ngazanye, oh na na na. Alongola ngazanye. Tu m'as tout donné, oh toi mon sauveur. Oselanya osoponga na tikala se molonge na yemba la la la. Never leave me alone. From today, you'll be the one I could ask for. Oh, yeah. Oh, na 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 na. Bitumananga longa, bikumananga ya mema. Bitumananga longa, bikumananga ya mema. Alongola ngazanye. Alongola ngazanye. Faveur immérité ngayo nakutana nango écarté par tous ngande asenga mona ya Yesu kita bokondela ndanga na zamba bisika moto alukanga te si alukanga te never leave me alone. He never leave me alone. From today you be the one I go dance for, my Lord. Bitumananga longa, bikumananga ya mema. Bitumananga longa, bikumananga ya mema. Alongola ngazanye, oh na na na. Alongola ngazanye. Si ndoto tenga, azola aluka kina salela ye. Na mitalinga, na bangi pona moni mbole munanga. Nzoka mokonzo ya kaya amikabane kulusu ponanga nga komosali apamba makomi mopanga nanga Yesu bakuna batoki pamba nabombama naza makila moto azoyembawa akoma intouchable nanga longa bikumba nanga ya mema bitumba nanga longa bikumananga ya mema. Alongola ngazanye, oh na na na. Alongola ngazanye. Tu m'as tout donné, oh toi mon sauveur. Oselanya osoponga na tikala se molonge na yemba la 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 la. Amen. La 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 la. I'm a winner in my God. Everybody shine with me. I'm a winner. Everybody sing with me. Never leave me alone. He never leave me alone. From today you'll be the one I could ask for. Oh yeah. Oh na 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 na. Bitumananga longa, bitumba na ngai ya mema, bitumba na ngai longa bikumba na ngai ya mema, alongola ngazanye, alongola ngazanye. Ya Yesu nalinga na ngai, mokonzi na pona na ngai, la 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 la, amen, la 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 la, amen. Alongola ngazanye, alongola, alongola ngazanye. Faveur immérité ngayo nakutana nango, écarté par tous ngande asenga mona ya Yesu kitya bokondela ndanga na zamba bisika moto alukanga te, si alukanga te, never leave me alone, he never leave me alone. From today you be the one I go dance for, my Lord. Bitumba nanga longa, bikumba nanga ya mema, bitumba nanga longa, bikumba nanga ya mema, alongola ngazanye, oh na na na, alongola ngazanye. Si ndoto tenga azala luka kinasalela ye, na mitalinga na bangi pona moni mbole munanga, nzoka mokonzo amikabane kulusu ponanga, ngako mosali apamba, omi mopanga nanga Yesu, bakuna batoki pamba, nabombama naza makila, moto azoyembawa akoma intouchable, nanga longa bikumba nanga ya mema, bitumba nanga longa bikumba nanga ya mema, alongola ngazanye, oh na na na, alongola ngazanye. Tu m'as tout donné, oh toi mon sauveur, osala nyonso ponga na tikala se molonge na yembi, la 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 la, amen, la 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 la, amen. I'm a winner in my God, la 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 la, amen. Everybody shine with me, la 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 la, I'm a winner, amen. Everybody sing with me, la 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 la, la 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 la. faveur imérite ngayo nakutana nango écarté partout songa nde asengi amona ya yesu kitya bokonzela ndanga na zamba bisika moto alukanga te alukanga te. Never leave me alone. You never leave me alone. From today, you be the one I go dance for, my Lord. Itumananga longa, ikumananga ya mema. Itumananga longa, ikumananga ya mema. Alanga langa zanye, oh na na na. Alanga langa zanye. Si ndoto tenga, azala luka kinazalela ye. Na mitalinga, na bangi pona moni mbole munangae. Nzoka moko nzoya pona ngae. Musumuko amikabane kulusu pona ngae. Nga komosali apamba, omi mopanga na ngae yesu. Bakuna batoki pamba, na bomba manasa makila. Motazo embawa, akoma intouchable. Alanga longa, bikumbananga ya mema. Bitumbananga longa, bikumbananga ya mema. Alanga langa zanye, oh na na na. Alanga langa zanye. Tu m'as tout donné, oh toi mon sauveur. Never leave me alone. You never leave me alone. From today, you be the one I go dance for. Yeah. Oh na 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 na. Bitumbananga longa, bikumbananga ya mema. Bitumbananga longa, bikumbananga ya mema. Alanga langa zanye. Faveur imérite ngayo nakutana nango écarté partout songa nde asengi amona ya yesu kitya bokonzela ndanga na zamba bisika moto alukanga te alukanga te. Never leave me alone. You never leave me alone. From today you be the one I go dance for, my Lord. Bitumbananga longa, bikumbananga ya mema. Bitumbananga longa, bikumbananga ya mema. Alanga langa zanye, oh na na na. Alanga langa zanye. Si ndoto tenga, azala luka kinazalela ye. Na mitalinga, na bangi pona moni mbole naza makila moto azoyembawa akoma intouchable alonga mikumba na ngai ya mema bitumba na ngai alonga mikumba na ngai ya mema alongola nazali oh na 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 alongola nazali tu m'as tout donné oh toi mon sauveur
Check.
Never leave me alone. You never leave me alone. From today, you'll be the one I could ask for. Yeah. Oh, na. Bitumbananga, longa, bikumbananga, ya mema. Bitumbananga, longa, bikumbananga, ya mema. Alongola nazali. Alongola nazali.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to Honest and Raw. I greet you all, everyone watching us. Thank you. As the name says, it's going to be honest and raw. Today is our first episode, and we are going to talk about marital life during quarantine. For that, I have a wonderful couple here to share their experience with us. They are well prepared and well powered to answer your questions. I hope you are ready. My name is Alexandrine, and I am your host. Let's go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As promised, the wonderful couple is sitting here. And as I told you, they are looking so gorgeous and ready to be honest and raw. Good afternoon, Pastor Seth and Mima Gifty. I really appreciate your presence here. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Come and share your experience with me.
Thank you too.
I'll allow you to introduce yourself to our public, all the people watching us, so that they know you and know the wonderful couple you are.
They always say the ladies first, right?
Yes, ladies first, please.
My name is Mrs. Gifty Kumado. I'm married with 3 kids.
You are,
That's enough.
you are just beautiful.
Amen.
And Mr. Kumado, we want to know you.
Yes, my name is already mentioned. Glad to be here. Tuning the time for talk about what is the pending topic. Bless you.
As you all know, now our guests are here. They introduce themselves You know who is sitting here. So now we are going to share all the wonderful things that may change your life or add something wonderful into your life. But first of all, I would like to know how they are doing. How are you doing, Mrs. Kumado? How was your day? Today is Saturday, I know it's a busy day for everyone, every couple.
By God's grace, I mean, we are doing very well. As usual, today is Saturday, so we are grateful to God that He's made a way in a party somewhere, so we can have this time to share with you, your lovely viewers.
The viewers, I know they are all excited the same way as I am. I'm so excited as well, especially that you accepted to be here for the first edition, the first edition of Honesty Raw. It's an honor for me to have you here. So we are here actually to talk about marital life during quarantine. As we all know, people have different experiences. Some people married without children, some are married with children, and some are separated. So we are here mainly to talk about the marital life. How was your quarantine period? How did you experience that? I'll start with Mama first.
I think we are still sticking with ladies first, eh?
Yes, of course.
I think just like everybody, the COVID was a big surprise to every individual in every household. And I would say personally, the COVID, honestly, I didn't really see much change in my home because I'm a stay-home mom with the 3 kids. So mostly I'm home with them, and there's a routine that we follow daily. So the routine was just flowing. But I was really wondering whether there was quarantine or COVID and all the things that were going on. The only thing, of course, I could notice was, of course, the kids being home 24/7 away from school. But apart from that, it's something that I'm used to for almost 6 years now. So by God's grace, there's a structure that I set at home. So it wasn't too bad, even though, of course, you'll be talking more, and as parents, you'll be stressing a little bit more. But please, I have a helping husband, so it was manageable.
I want to hear from Mr. Kumado's side. How did you experience?
Well, what? Mixed feeling past. And really, this talk, I'm not just done, not because we are not thinking about those very difficult time, especially those that lost their loved ones. It's been very difficult, and a lot of them are still even adjusting to the situation. And so if we sit here to even talk about our experiences, then of course we can't mention anything without acknowledging the fact that some people are still living till date, going through so much. So it's really a privilege for some of us to still be alive and for us to come and talk about this. The experiences, of course, it was like nobody expected this COVID-19. All of a sudden it showed up, and a lot of adjustments that needed to be done. And we also had to adapt to all the changes in terms of relationships, changes in terms of, let's say, employer and employee relationships, changes in terms of even when you go to the shops, a lot of changes. And then all of a sudden, people had to put the mask on and all that. It's not really what we were used to. So then all of a sudden with these changes, but by the grace of God, we're just still sailing through. We're sailing through. And, with regards to the question, I don't know if I have to narrow it down to our home or...
Be free.
Okay, okay, okay. Just like she was saying, we have a routine that is just keep the routine. For me, even though the COVID was still around, work in the health sector, so
Yeah.
I was going to work in the morning, then come home. Of course, you have to also come and support the kid, everything. It was extra load, you know, but we're still here. We're still keeping up. We're still keeping up. It's not been a very wonderful experience for many people,
Indeed.
but it could either affect relationships to be better
Better.
or to be worse. So I can say that by the grace of God, we are on the better side. Okay.
If I understand, a lot of changes. So as we are aware of statistics, but after COVID-19, just to talk about changes, a lot of couples, we have a lot of separations, we have a lot of divorce. But as seeing you here, you survive.
The grace of
You
God.
survived.
By grace.
Even though you were a full-time mom, but at least you were having your personal time, bringing children to school, when you come home, your home work, without having children on top of you. Were you able to adjust yourself in personal time anymore?
Like I said in the beginning, by God's grace, there's a routine that we follow. So, for instance, when they wake up in the morning, of course, they take their breakfast. I give them a little bit time to watch telly or do whatever they want to do. And they know that when it's 11 o'clock, it is very tight. So, when it's 11, and of course, the schools give us a lot of work from school. Personally, I liked it because it gave me a proper routine for them to follow. Because previously I had to come up with my own ideas as to what to teach them and try to imagine what they are doing in school. But with the books from school, it made it a bit easier for me. And they kind of understand the language at home that if it is studies time, it's studies time. So maximum they learn like 1 hour. And I thank God they are, by God's grace, a lot independent on themselves. So they are not too clingy to mommy all the time. So I'm really able to do my stuff even when they are home. So like I'm saying, it wasn't too much of a change for me because it was like a normal everyday life by God's grace for me. So I just thank God.
Because actually, it's giving me another idea. Like this COVID-19 was not for a certain time because we got into it, but we didn't know when we were coming out. So if you want or not, at a certain point, you start feeling the pressure. Were you not at a certain time feeling the pressure, like, when is this thing going to end?
Of course, I mean the pressure was on. It's give and take. When they are in school, most people think that is free, but it's really not, because with the kind of school my kids go to, they go at 8:30. You pick them up at 12. You send them back at 1 again. You pick them back at 3:30. So you just have like an hour and a half in between the time, and you still need to come home, do your chores. And I have a little one who is 1.5, so my attention was divided. And but when they were home, of course, moving up and down, that is what I would say.
So it was an advantage. So now you have a rest, actually.
So going up and down. That is what I say. Thank you, COVID, but in a good
COVID
way.
at the end wasn't that bad at the end. So we could see that there is some light in it.
Well, you can choose to say it wasn't that bad, but because when they are home too is another
That's
pressure and
true.
stress. So it's give and take. But we just thank God that the most important thing is that God kept us. God was gracious to us. God was faithful. It's not because we were special or anything like that. But I believe that God just favored us, kept the family together, safe from any form of COVID or any other. It's just all by the grace of God. Really take.
Now I'm coming to you because I know that you were part of one of the courageous people during the COVID-19 because you were working and you were basically at the front line because you are in the healthcare industry. And you have little kids at home. I'm sure that you have some pressure because when you get home, how do you feel?
Yeah, just I think when it all started with the COVID, the very first 2 weeks, for told to when we're told to stay at home. I remember the very first two. It's over feeling well. The temperatures were very high, and remember that week didn't even go to school. Started with a boy, and then when the boy was getting better, switched on to the girl. So we were like, what is this? Temperatures. Yeah, what kind of thing is this? And I remember when I met people and I told them, oh, my kids are not feeling well, and they begin to look at you.
So you have a COVID patient in your house?
In a way, So at the point in time, it's very difficult. You can't even tell somebody your child is not well. And then also the pressure is you get all the information that, when you're not feeling well, just stay home. It was difficult. It was difficult. I was actually exposed to people that had, let's say, had relatives that had the COVID. So you are thinking, the moment you even hear somebody cough, you are like, hey, you want to watch out, And I saw some people when somebody cough in their midst, you see a lot of them get up and then they walk to the other side. And it was interesting. I saw how grandparents could not come close to grandchildren. They could see them behind the glass or stand at the window and wave to their children. It was really tough. And then, of course, in coming back to relating it to home, we spend most of the time with them, with which I really appreciate the time spent with them, learning the books and all that. And it's only when there's something that I have to explain something that they call on me. So, but when I come in, the kids, they always see me and say, where are you going? You just came in, you're going again? That's what they always say. But what happens is that the moment I come in, because they've seen mom almost the whole day, they want to have some time with me, and I was very careful because of my nature of work. What I did was, before I get inside, my shoes were even outside. I never brought my shoes inside. My shoes that I've used outside, I brought it. I didn't take it inside. My jacket has to not get inside. I had a way to, and unfortunately, if I leave my shoes just at the door, I will hear Mama Gift to say, your shoes. And I have to take it outside. These were all things that we're trying to do to prevent any COVID transfer. But besides that, I realized the pressure of spending time with the kids as well. They wanted to play with me as well because, like, you are always gone. We don't see you. When we see you, it's just a short time, And what I also want to add is that, when they play with you at a point in time, they're like, they don't want to stop. They have the energy. And you are so tired. You are so tired. And in relation to that effect in between myself and my wife, just like you said, because of the COVID, divorce rate was very high. I mean, the people that had the first experience, let's say China, if you according to the information, the divorce rate there was so high. 80%, like you're saying, is 50%. So we're not saying that, with all the energy and all the attention the children wants from us, sometimes, just like she's saying, she had to make time for herself. What about time for myself and her? So in fact, if we were not careful, things like you easily get irritated, you realize that if you're not careful, the impact will rather make something that's supposed to be beautiful become something ugly. I don't know if I've answered.
Everybody out. And later we were allowed to go outside with our kids. And they start seeing everybody with mask. What were the reaction of the children seeing that change? One of you or anyone that wants to answer that
Okay.
question.
One of the things that we did around that time, because these kids, they have so much energy, at least we have to go outside with them. So one of the places is just to go to the playground, where the directives that were given is that the kids can come together and play,
Yeah.
but the parents are not supposed to get so close, to other kids or to the other parents. And then also they see that we wear masks and they are not. And then they are wondering what's going on. One time I went to the shops with the kids, two of my kids, and then for them, they are kids. They were just running around. I said, hey, don't run around. And then when they see somebody with a mask, they start calling me, Daddy, look at somebody, Corona. I said, no. It's not that you see somebody with a mask means that the person has Corona. And of course, I was telling them, stay by me. Don't just run around. They couldn't know how, of course, they are kids. They didn't know how to handle themselves. To date, they are even asking me for mask. They think it's a fashion. They see everybody wearing it, but they are like, when am I getting my mask? I say, you excluded.
1.5 meter rule, kind of understandable for us, but for children, it's something that we can never properly explain. Because even when you ask them 1.5 meter, the child doesn't even know a meter before knowing 1.5 meter. Yeah. So, as a parent, this is bringing more stress on yourself. Because you have always, all the time, asked the child, stay close to me, but after 5 minutes, they are gone. So, as a parent, anytime you take them out, you have to watch out. So, there are some parents that decided not to go out with the kids anymore, just keep them indoor. What do you think about that? It's better to keep them indoor because they won't follow rules and regulation, or you just take them out and spend the time to be focused more on them than doing what you are doing?
Personally, I think that it's difficult to keep the kids indoors. If you live in a house where you have a garden, then you are more, I think, advantageous, because then the kids can go into the garden and then play. But if you live in a flat where you don't have a garden and you want to keep the kids 24/7, it doesn't work. So I love the time that they go out to play, because, as I said, they are very independent, so I don't need to hold their hands to climb anything. And of course, I mean, the rules of Corona, it doesn't work in the field time. How do you say field time?
In the playground.
In the playground, it doesn't work. Because, even though they are kids, how do you explain to them that keep a distance? Yeah. So for me, I explain to them, I say, listen, all the measures that are going on is good. But as a Christian, I try to explain to them that no matter the measures that we're taking, it is God that is protecting. Even though you need to understand the measures. So for me, taking them out is a time also for me to relax, honestly. Because when I take them out, I'm able to, it's a time for mommy as well, even though it's a time for them. So for me, it's win-win. They are happy, they are playing with their friends. I have time to myself to sit under a tree and enjoy the shit. Yes.
But it has been often pointed out that in our modern relationship, your partner is supposed to be your best friend, your lover, psychotherapist, your child care partner, and even your dishwasher partner. So Pastor said, when you were all the time outside, when you come home, which role do you take at the end of the day?
Well, one of parents that, especially when I come back home at night, do a routine check. go through, check.
So you come like a policeman and said,
Eh,
okay, is this done? Is this done? Is this done?
No, I'm checking, especially with the kids. Some they will leave the tap on, so you have to go to the bathroom and
yeah.
check, and they will not put the TV off, checking all these. And then I go to their room also and check if harvest plays, and also, of course, try to look if one of them has to go to the loo or something. The little things I can do at night before I go and rest. But what I find interesting is that we develop some routines, which really, I would say, because of the COVID, it brought us together and stronger. One of them is to exercise together.
You exercise together.
Or with all the kids, the only thing is you have distractions. Somebody want to hold your leg, but we watch the routines, exercise, on YouTube, and all of us are together in the sitting room. We are exercising together, and sometimes we just say, "Let's go for a walk." Then all of us just walk to a distance, and they love it. They love it, and so I make sure that no matter when I'm working, the times that I get, if it's possible, try to also help and support, and also some activity where all of us can bonding
nice.
Together. Yeah.
I must say I really want to commend him, because when he comes home, I know he's very tired, and naturally, because the kids don't see more of him, and during the COVID time, it was really, really heavy on him, because he was working morning, afternoon, evening, because some of the employees were not available.
Yeah.
But still, when he comes home, in 2 or 3 hours in the afternoon, because I am so stressed, I need a break.
Yeah.
So sometimes he goes out with the kids to cycle, and they like that, Or sometimes the kids, like he's saying, we do exercise, and sometimes we play, this how do they call it? I don't know how they call it in Dutch. In Ghana we call it Ludo. I don't
Ludo,
know.
yes, we know Ludo.
The kids always, they are always looking for a time with us. So they always say, "Mommy, do you have time to play this thing with us?" So I say, "Okay, yeah." Sometimes I'm so tired, but I'm like, just to give them a little bit time. So I sit, and then, we play together and make sure I win all the time, even though it's bad of me.
No, but to chip in that, I make sure that I don't win all the time. I let them win, and they are so excited when they win. But the caution also is that you play with them, but you set a time. Then you leave them to play together themselves, because you're not careful. One of the things I experience is that if you're playing with them, at the point in time, they don't even know who is the parent and who is the child. Sometimes they think, "Oh, we are all playing together," but then you set a limit. At the point in time, it's okay, you are taking a rest, let them carry on, and then that is what brings the difference. Or else, this COVID time, at some homes, these things has become a big problem. The kids and the parents are all together doing things together. That's gotten to a time that the child think they can just talk to the parents anyhow. That's right. That's right.
So as a parent, so if I can resume, as a parent, you always need to set boundaries.
Mostly, even before COVID came, what I do is in the day, if I need time, to do probably my quiet time or listen to a preaching or something, they know that if I tell them, "Mommy needs time to pray," and they understand that language, so they go into the living room. If they have to study, they study. If they have to watch telly, and I've told them, if Mommy is praying or reading the Bible, you don't disturb, and they get that. So during the COVID, I was able to also, use that. Of course, the little one who don't understand that, but, by God's grace. So there are ways and means where we still manage to. It's all about, structuring them to understand how it works.
So now, talking about energy, now I'm thinking, we are talking about the children energy, but let us talk about men energy. Now we are becoming very juicy. Our viewers,
honest and raw.
Stay cable, stay cable. Stay connected, because the good part is coming. I've heard that some women were complaining that during COVID time, the men libido went to a rocking sky level, and they just want to have intercourse morning, afternoon, I think Tuesday Dutch and evening. And they were actually harassing women. So I don't even know to call it harassment or marital duty. So, Minister Gifty, does Pastor said this story?
Question. Do you disturb me?
Asking you.
You know, I also heard of I don't know what to say, whether it's a complaint or statement, but as I was reflecting on that, I was like, then those men really have enough time on their hands, because they are home. Mine is not home, you know, and he's constantly out, and by the time he comes home, he's tired. So I got away with it a lot. So my routine didn't really change. But for those women, I don't want to use the word unfortunate, because unfortunate is relative.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that if the men are probably helping out with the kids, helping to cook, helping to clean, helping to do housework, taking the kids out to play, then I don't think they will have enough energy all the time to be asking their wife
So set.
for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Are you agreeing with her?
I don't think
Because
so.
I've heard that men are never tired.
Well, let me.
That is true, though.
Let me.
They are never tired.
Let me. In fact, this issue you're talking about, I mean, it's not new. Everybody, I mean, a lot of people were talking about it.
Yeah.
What I found out is that some even couples thought the quarantine time as a honeymoon time,
You see?
you know, and for them, they were just, you know, especially when you're together 24/7.
Yeah.
And then also, if you don't have kids, just two of you
Yeah.
from morning to evening, 24/7, the whole week, the whole month, 3 months, you are together, you know. What I found is that the COVID had different impressions on people. Some were stressed out, you know, but in relation to couples or the men that were demanding more sex, was that, just like she was saying, if there was nothing to be done, some had nothing. They just have to stay home and get a pay cut, so they are not doing actually basically nothing. And all that the mind is thinking, the man, for men, no matter what, even if they are holding the Bible or they are bishops or archbishops, or sex is part of the thoughts of a man. No two ways about it. And so when he has the opportunity, let me chip in by saying this. Look,
Go free,
Look,
Pastor said.
we can give so many reasons. We can
It's honest and raw.
give so many reasons why men get married. But I can say that one of the top priorities is to have sex.
Yes.
Is to have sex. So for the man, is to come together and then you have pleasure. So at the time the COVID is inviting the togetherness, the COVID is setting the atmosphere. The COVID is laid. Somebody said that the COVID is preparing a table in the presence of my enemy.
I hope our audience is really enjoying that. Anyway, people here in their house are enjoying it.
So for the man, it comes so easily, you know. The man is always charged up. The man is always ready, you know. There is not that he's going to get in the mood. He's always in the mood. So the COVID made it so easy for the man to be thinking more about sex. Some use the sex as a way of escape from all the pressure they were receiving from work and all that. It was a way of escape. And for the man, I mean, the men that are listening or the women that are listening, look, when it comes to sex, for the man, it's a physical release. So when the man releases, you know, after sex, the man feels a physical release. Exactly. So the man is saying, I'm looking for a place where I can release my tension. and that is
Tension-free.
and that is why the pressure was more on the women.
Yes.
You know, for the woman, she when they have sex, it's emotional release. You know, so it was more physical in the COVID time, and that's why the women were complaining.
You think that women were complaining that the men, because you know, there's something about women that I know. Women are not that much sex. But when you refuse a sex to a man, they get very frustrated. They get more agitated if you refuse the. But the man is more disturbed when you done when you are. Do you think that can marry?
Yes, yes, it can. You know, sex should be mutual. No, it should be mutual. It should be agreement. That's why when you forcibly have sex with somebody, in terms of rape, you know, we call it a rape because the other party was not in agreement, you know, and this case, when a man comes to the woman, naturally, you know, in how God has built or created a man to be, it's just like God has put him to be the king. You know, it's like if you study the animal kingdom or the kingdom of the lions, you will understand what I mean. But you will not understand until you are a man.
No, even though I'm a woman, I'm going to look for it.
So the irritation from the man is that men are always, created to give, and the women are created to receive. You know, so the man is giving. So when he comes and is asking and you're not giving, easily irritated. But when the man understands, there should be an understanding. That's why some couples, they have a routine. They say, okay, 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know, so that
And you put it on the roster.
on the roster, so that the woman is aware. And then when the man comes, he say, hey, we've made an agreement, you know. But the men easily get irritated when it especially if it's a couple being together. We're not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend, but we're talking about couples.
And you measure yourself before and after the this increase or decrease, because he has been working too much, he's tired, he's coming home surely with tension. So, oh yes. So how can you measure that?
Again, personally, I think that, well, in my favor, because again, he was working so much, so I kind of got more time to relax, because mostly he gets home sometimes after midnight, and I'm fast asleep, you know. But like we are saying, you know, sex is a mutual agreement and a mutual act, and the way his personality is, sometimes it's very, very honestly difficult to even say no, even though as human as we are, yes, sometimes I do.
So he asked so nicely that you
Very.
can't even say no.
It's
Oh,
very,
Pastor
it's-
said
it's-
you are the best.
It's very difficult to, and the times that I really even say no, I don't sleep. I
Yeah,
feel so
you feel
bad
bad.
to myself, because he doesn't pressure too much about it anyway, because he's
Oh.
tired. He's very lovely about it. But at the end of the day, you know, COVID, before and after COVID, honestly, I can't even say whether it's gone high or low.
So it stays the same
I
actually.
think maybe.
No, let him answer himself, because I
Okay,
think
you are the man, so maybe you you can answer it.
How should I put it? You know, interestingly, there's something that I personally discovered, that sometimes you think you're really, really tired, but from the man's perspective, I realized that even times when you think you're really tired after the sex, you kind of feel energized, because then the blood is shot to every part of your body. You know, there's adrenaline going through all parts of your body. And so I realized that even when I'm even tired, that's even when I want the sex. You know, it's interesting how I started feeling, because you come back, you're tired, you know, but still it becomes like somebody says an energy drink. You know, and I have rather had strength, you know, when I was rather tired. That's what I.
On the other side of men, let us talk about women, because it's the same rumor saying that there are also some women that became very demanding. And I was surprised because most of the time men were more pinpoint than women. So I was asking myself, the women that were requesting for more sex during COVID-19, is because they were lacking it before, and during COVID, they found the time, or they got now the guy at home, or it's just they're also under pressure. But Mama Gifty, what do you think?
To be very honest, about 90% of the women that I know and I relate to, it is the other way around. I mean, mostly women, you would hardly find a woman who would say, I love sex, or I want sex, or it's very rare. It's just one person that my cousin was telling me that the lady's sex level is outrageous. And I was like, really? Is there a woman in the world like that who have really a great sex drive? But I want to believe that, you know, the issue of sex has to do with what happens. For us, the women, like they always say, it is not the moment in the act. Sometimes it starts in the morning, how you are keeping touch through the day. You know, the men gives cues all the time. So it's not about in the moment, because most of the times, I mean, the fundamental, women are always tired. Yeah. That is no excuse to give that we are tired. But I always say is how the men would approach us. You understand? You should, if you know that you want the do, make sure that in that day, irritations are less. You are extremely nice and cautious. Even though we know that, okay, you are doing too nice, we know you are coming. But I believe that it has to be something that the atmosphere has to be really set for the woman. Yeah. Way in the day, or even days before. The woman, like Pastor said, is an emotional release. So you need to make sure that the mind is really set for it, and then I think that what comes after is history.
So, Seth, what do you think about those women?
Well, it's true. I mean, we saw some videos going viral, and these videos, we saw some women jubilating and singing songs, because now they have their men with them 24/7, because they were not seeing the men. They will go away for a long time, and so to them, they saw it as, hey, it's really an opportunity. And especially the women that thought that maybe their husbands were having affairs somewhere, you know, now is the time to give it to the man. Now is the time to feed him until he begs for no more, you know. So, I mean, and of course, everybody is different. You know, everybody is different. So, for the women that feel that way, I think it's not wrong to just, you know, also ask for the sex.
Do you see it as a commitment or as a pleasure?
Well, for
Mama Gifty said, "Oh, for men, it can never be enough."
I don't have that experience, so I can't talk about the men that have that experience. I thank God for her with all the surprises. Sometimes she will surprise you, or she surprises me that think like, oh, I wasn't expecting, and that is very nice of, let's say, if that's how all women are. It's really nice. It's difficult to see it coming, you know, but for the women, it's so easy. They see it coming, they already know where this is going, you know, but for her especially, it's not like the other women, so I can't really situation.
Oh, we are running out of time.
Oh, really?
I wish we could sit here the whole afternoon and talk more, but now we won't have enough time. But we will come back to discuss about it. But I have another last question. Uh, During this time, now we are coming out of COVID. Now we are having the freedom to go out. What impact time have on your priorities now in life? What does that change in now how to do your thing, deal with the decisions you make for future?
Well, one of the things that personally I've seen, which positive, especially when the COVID began, realized that being relaxed, help dealt with a lot of pressure. Taking some breath and then just don't fret, don't be panicking, just relax, look at how everything is resolving, take life day by day, and especially if I could chip in this, the COVID period, it was even a time that families were drawn closer to God than ever before. Families who were praying together, and you should have come to my home when we are having service at home together. It was interesting, So one of the positive things that it bonded us as a family together, and sometimes my kids come. When I'm praying, especially early in the morning, I'm praying, and sometimes they came there, and I'm like, they should just give me that. But it's changed because now when they see me praying, they come and join me, and sometimes you should hear the tongues also speaking, And another thing I would also want to add is that focus is very, very important these times, because looked like the beginning everybody was talking about COVID everywhere you pass, even in the news and all those things, but realize that if you change your focus, and focus on other things, it makes it easier to deal with the conditions surrounding all COVID. Change your focus, play some music, let some music be at the background. Stop listening too much at the news with the COVID. Some people were looking at is increasing here and there. And so anytime you want to stay in being inspired, in motivated, in going about your daily activity, change focus. Don't focus on the things that are happening around. Look up to God more, and focus on the things that will inspire you, will encourage you, instead of focusing on things that will put you down.
You tell.
I want to believe that COVID really came to highlight the state of families, what was really there. COVID just came, if the family was already in a good functioning mode, COVID was like a light that shone on family. So if it was, yes, to testify. So if everything was good, COVID just came to showcases. If it wasn't good, COVID also came to expose. So the exposure was whether it was good or. And I just want to thank God that for us, our home, by God's grace, it is still going good. And what it exposed us to is that really we need family. Because when every else sat down, you are stuck with your either your husband or your wife, and you can't go out, you can't do anything. So at the end of the day, it really brought us together, and I believe that in a good way, it was a good intent, because that is what God wanted right from the beginning. That family, it started from family, and COVID caused us, come back to the drawing board and look at what is important in life.
So I'm turning back to our viewers. I hope you really enjoy this. To be honest, I didn't want to stop this, but we are running out of time. Oh, Pastor said want to say something. Let us give him the time. Yes.
Let me just say something finally to the audience. It's a very tough time. It's a very difficult time. But like I met somebody yesterday, the person said that he was so stressed out. He was so depressed around that time of the COVID. And I said, and even till now, some are still going through that stress. But what I want to say is, talk to somebody. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't stay at home and just be crying. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Call your pastor, call a friend, call a family, and speak to somebody, because confession is good for the soul. Thank you.
So, as Pastor said, talk to somebody. Don't keep it to yourself. That is the main reason why we are here with Honest and Raw, to share our experiences with families, with couples, with homes. This will at least help you to take decisions, to do the right things in your life. And I hope that you will be connected in 2 weeks' time. We are coming for a new topic, and this is going to be spicy again. Thank you all for joining. I thank you, the couple Kumado. I have a small token from Honest and Rough, Mama.
Oh. Wow.
So, Mama Gifty,
Thank you
I
so much.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
These
I
are
appreciate
very
your time.
beautiful.
I know that you have to do a lot of organization to get the children somewhere to get.
Thank you.
So, our viewers, we thank you for joining us, that you stay tuned and stay connected to us. See you in 2 weeks again. Thank you. Bye.
Never leave me alone. He never leave me alone. From today, you be the one I go dance for, my Lord. Itumananga longa, ikumananga ya mema. Mitalinga na bangi pona monimbole munangae nzuka mokonzo ya amikabane kulusu ponanga nga komosali apamba omi mopanga na nga yesu bakuna batoki pamba nabombama naza makila moto azoyembawa akoma ya tujable nanga longa bikumba nanga ya mema bitumba nanga longa bikumba nanga ya mema alongola nazanye oh na 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 alongola nazanye tu m'as tout donné.